Okay, hello everyone, good evening, welcome back to Sporty Spotlight. So, big FA Cup weekend has come and gone. I mean, of course, there are still a couple of fixtures that were postponed going on tonight, but we've got plenty to talk about, so let's just get started with the Friday night kickoff. Aston Villa 2, West Ham United 1. Now,
Just
you
a
know
roll
what?
aside.
Before you say anything, even though you've got that absolutely filthy hat on your head, yeah, Daniel, yeah, you can say what you like. West Ham were robbed. We were robbed.
Oh yeah.
Yes. That referee decision was absolutely awful. Seriously, how is that a corner? Stevie Wonder would have been able to see that wasn't a corner.
I think it was the best decision by a referee I've ever seen.
Oh my
I mean,
god.
no, in all seriousness, it was never a corner.
But you know
I could have
what?
even got that I got that back from home, mate.
Yeah. But seriously, I think if we were there under Lopetegui, then I think we would have been turned over. I think so. I was honestly thinking about it, happy with what I saw from Graham Potter. Of course, he's got a point to prove tonight, which
You know, you're
has.
saying it's because it's his first game as manager, and you're just trying to be positive about it.
Well, you might as well be, because you're stuck with them for the time being.
Doesn't he play tiki taka like Lopetegui did?
But yeah, it was disappointing loss. But an individual I want to point out who I thought was really good, Ollie Scholes.
Oh yeah, I've been
Man,
hearing all the hype about this guy. He
yes,
actually did.
he got man of the match on the losing side. So yeah, I was really happy with what I saw from him, and I think he's going to be a really promising academy player going forward, and breaking into the first team very slowly and very steadily. So
No,
I was
nothing like the Millwall Academy, but I'll explain that one
I
later.
was very happy there. So let's talk about the big ones on Sunday, and the one that absolutely made me want to laugh and cry at the same time. Tottenham versus Tamworth versus Tottenham. Oh my god. Bloody hell. What was that? Honestly, Tottenham were. I'll tell you what, Tottenham is. It's ridiculous how they've done that. They needed to bring on Son and Kulusevski to beat 16th placed in the National League, newly promoted Tamworth.
They were a pretty strong squad actually, which kind of amazed me.
Yeah.
But I'm not even joking. I think that Zara shop assistant for Tamworth literally
Beg
just got back from
Ryan.
his part. Yeah, his
Remember the name.
part-time job for Zara done and dusted. He's now got his other part-time job of playing Tamworth. He's better than Timo Werner.
Yeah, he should. Honestly, they should have just swapped him. They should have just left Werner there to go and work at Tamworth. No, to go and work at Tamworth and Zara. Beck Ryan, you're coming with us. You're coming to play for Spurs.
There was also that 32-year-old, I forgot his name, but just like did
Hayden
his spin
Hollis
against like two Tottenham players. Like that was amazing.
is
Playing like
incredible.
prime Barcelona.
Yeah, honestly, Ronaldinho, Neymar, and Lamine Yamal and Lionel Messi would have been proud. Yeah, but we need to talk about the real disgrace of London, Arsenal. I'll tell you
Oh
what.
yeah.
Listen
Oh,
here.
I thought you were going to say Millwall then.
Listen here. Arsenal are an embarrassment to football in general. They couldn't beat arguably the worst Manchester United team in 30 years when they had 10 men, a penalty, and the referee in their pocket. It was absolutely awful. And also, I'll tell you this, Kai Havertz wouldn't get into the Norwich team.
Oh my goodness, you lot with Kai Havertz. Hey, look, I get it. He makes these mistakes.
He's
I mean,
big-headed as well.
I hate how Chelsea treated him at the
Yeah, to
end.
be fair,
All the fans, that guy scores your Champions League winning goal. Oh, he has no history with us.
called
He's
them.
really bad.
Yeah.
Worst striker in the world. I don't get Arsenal fans either because they're saying they've got a bad striker because he's got 6 goals in the Premier League and like 3 in the Carabao Cup. Our strikers combined before Dagenham and Redbridge, Ivanovic had 2 goals. Langstaff had 1. That's 3 goals combined. Havertz doubled that, mate.
Yeah, that's true. That is true, to be fair. But honestly,
And
it
we're
wasn't.
Championship. He's doing that Premier League.
Yeah, it wasn't a good display from him on Saturday, though. It just.
No, it wasn't. To be
But
fair.
talking about someone else, Arte Bayende, Flipping hell.
Oh yeah, he's a nice guy and all.
He was brilliant. And, it's really difficult being a second choice keeper because, you're under all that pressure thinking, and you just think to yourself, am I just going to be on the bench here forever?
Then move club.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to say the obvious, but
yeah, it's he under that pressure. Honestly, I thought that Amarim was gonna probably bring on Andre Onana for the penalties, but he kept him on. And he kept faith in him, and they got over the line. But the
good
person,
save by him.
yeah, but the person I was most happy for that day, Joshua Zirkzee.
Oh yeah, about flipping time, eh?
I'm delighted for him personally. I am because that the amount of from being sent off after 30 minutes and getting booed by your own crowd to scoring the winning penalty at the Emirates and receiving a standing ovation and waving Arsenal's trophy dreams goodbye in front of an Emirates crowd. It's incredible, and
Shows how quickly United fans change on players really quickly as well.
Yeah. They got to have faith in him because I honestly thought that he was good when he came on. There were brief moments when him and Amad Diallo were able to sort of burst forward, even though there weren't really that many moments from United because they were down to 10 men and probably parking the bus for a lot of that. But yeah, he did help to change the game, and also Harry Maguire as well. He was fantastic.
Yeah, he was good as well.
Yeah. So now, the thing you're gonna want to talk about. Norwich City 0, Brighton Hove Albion 4. Oh, God.
Didn't you go to that?
I did go to that, and
Did you not vlog that?
I did vlog it. It's up on the channel now if you want to check it out. Also, guys,
I'm not going to check it out right now. I've obviously got
just
job
one
to do real quick.
other thing. We are on track for 1,000 followers on TikTok. Go and follow down there so we can do more lives on there. We can do lives on there, which would be really fun. So
You did a live on TikTok?
Yeah, well, after you hit 1K, anyway.
Oh, damn, I missed that. Not bad.
Yeah, honestly, I thought that for the first 30 minutes, I thought Norwich were good. We were creating chances. We were limiting what Brighton were able to do. But, yeah, it was after that, the Premier League quality just shone through. And, it was down to errors as well. And I know how much you're going to love to hear this. You're going to absolutely love to hear this. You know what? We were... I was thinking to myself, we were 1-0 down, and I think it was like the 46th minute, counting stoppages as well. And I was just thinking to myself, you know what, if we can go into the break 1-0 down, then, we can regroup and then go for it in the second half. And then, you know what George Long does? Boots it long.
George Long heritage.
He didn't need to do that. And then Jorginho, bloody Rooter, Leeds boy, comes up the other end of the pitch and scores his second. But, yeah, I really hope
PTSD there.
Yes. Well, not for you. I bet you're probably laughing, aren't you? Yeah, I hope that Brighton, seriously, in all seriousness, that just shows, they showed us just how far we are off the Premier
League.
We're so far off that, really, and that's just really disappointing. And I hope that they can be an example to our current owners as to what job they've got on their hands, really.
I mean, I made myself look like a muppet, really. I was saying, how are Norwich not in like the title fight, playoffs? I'm now thinking about this because I'm still thinking this is Norwich that just got relegated from the Premier League and really underperformed under Dean Smith, I think it was. And I'm still thinking it's that same team, but I've only noticed, quality-wise, yeah, I know you're like 10 times better than Millwall. Ha ha ha, thank you. But, you've got a decent squad. It's a playoff pushing squad. It's a top half squad, I think, is what I'm trying to say, really.
Yeah. But yeah, honestly, I am glad that the two things that I'm happy about, Josh Sargent coming back. He looked bright when he came on for like the last 20 or 15
I don't get this
minutes.
hype around Sargent. I'm sorry, but everyone says he's so good.
It's because he's a good number 9. He's a good leader and he's a good centre forward. That's what the hype is around.
It was
But
better than Ivanovic and Langstaff. So
yeah,
yeah, that's somewhat.
I think it was the test that we needed, really, and I'm really glad that we didn't park the bus and put 10 men behind the ball, which is what Plymouth did, which we'll get onto in a minute. We tried to test our philosophy. We had a decent amount of possession, and ultimately, I think that is why we lost. But yeah, I'm just glad that we didn't park the bus because that would have been pretty dreadful to watch, really.
Yeah.
Because I've seen teams park the bus live this season, and it's just stomach churning sometimes, really. Yeah. But yeah, now we will get on to probably the upset of the weekend. Brentford 0, Plymouth Argyle 1. Pieface recording the limbs in the G-Tech away end. Absolutely amazing, really.
Who was he with again?
I think he was with his girlfriend, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? That was very good performance from Plymouth. Very, very, it was deserved. They took their chances. Brentford didn't. And Morgan Whittaker already getting a bid from Burnley, which, honestly, I do not think is the way forward for him, if you ask me.
No,
Personally.
never, never.
He should not go to another championship club.
He's an attacking-minded club, and I'm not saying Burnley is an attacking-minded, but if you see how many they've conceded this season, it shows they're a bit more on the defensive side.
Yeah. But, yeah, another thing to talk about. Miran Muslic, he's had one game, and he's beaten probably, one of the other upcoming Premier League teams, potentially. A bit like Brighton, who I thought were brilliant on Saturday, mind you. He's beaten... In his debut game, he's gone to the G-Tech Community Stadium, which is a place where Brentford have lost at home very few times,
In
and
the
he's
last,
won. Yeah, and he's won there. And I saw his speech just now that he gave to the Plymouth squad, and I like the look of this guy. I really do. I think he's the way. I think that Plymouth have pulled a rabbit out of a hat here.
I mean, we don't know just yet. I mean, he's beat Brentford, which is a statement and a half. You just need to see how he does against the proper opposition, and if this game wasn't just a fluke.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, it was if it was based on very very good starts, then that is a
That's all.
fantastic start to his tenure at Plymouth Argyle. Of course, he did very well at Circle Brugge. So, so yeah, it's a very promising start to his new career, and I'm wishing him all the best. Really.
Absolutely.
So let's get on to we'll get back to probably some of the FA Cup stuff in a minute, but let's talk about some stuff that happened in across the leagues. So yeah.
2 league games.
Yeah, we'll talk about the League 2 games first.
Okay.
So yeah. Walsall 5, Tranmere Rovers 1. So yeah. Walsall continue their onslaught of League 2, really, because they're playing good football. I do think they will get promoted.
Kind of wish I got their manager now. I know it's League 2, and I
Be
said it's
careful what you wish for.
but
Yeah.
I mean, that is actually true when you say be careful what you wish for. I wish for Joe Edwards to be our manager, and here we are.
Oh my god. But the one that really caught my eye was from League 1. Rotherham. This one's just funny. Rotherham United 3, Bolton Wanderers 1. Oh my god.
Have that in effort.
Bloody hell. How have Rotherham done that? Seriously.
How have Bolton lost is a better question.
Bloody. It's quite a Bolton thing to do. This is why those sorts of results are why I don't think the Bolton are going to get promoted. That's why I think they're going to miss out again, because they've thrown it away so many times.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Fogden, if I offend you, but it's just the truth, mate.
Yeah. But
I've got one thing to highlight myself before you go any further.
Go on.
I forgot to say it, thanks to the credit of your co-host, who does have quite a lot of highlights on his list.
Mm-hmm.
I've forgotten what I like to call our weekly dose of managerial mayhem.
Oh,
Got announced today after Rob Edwards did leave the club the other day. Matt Bloomfield has been announced as your new Luton Town manager.
whew.
Personally, on my behalf, I think this is very good for Luton as a club because he's really good, but very bad for Wickham, who lost one of their key players who got recalled from loan and has now lost their manager. So I don't know what the future is for them,
So,
but I know if from Bloomfield at Wickham, I think the future for Luton is very good. But what are your thoughts on the appointment of Matt Bloomfield?
well, I think yeah, well, first of all, the Rob Edwards sacking was always coming, but you can't but Luton fans should really salute him off with high honour because, the amount he did for their club, got them to the Premier League for the first time. I've met him as well, lovely, lovely chap. So, but yeah, I'm wishing him all the best for the future. But yeah, Matt Bloomfield to Luton. I'm honestly worried about what's going to happen to Wickham now because lost one of their best players who's been recalled from loan, and lost their manager who was doing fantastic for them. Of course, they beat Portsmouth 2-0 in the cup, which is impressive on its own. So honestly, could they? It's going to be probably quite a rough second half of the season for the Chairboys. But
Unless they appoint someone like Steven Schumacher, which I'm not sure if Schumacher would take the challenge,
yeah,
but he
I think
might do, depending on appointment. And I know there's good players there at Wickham that he would love to take.
Richard Kone.
So I think yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god. Okay, I'm just trying to reconnect to my Wi-Fi connection so I don't have to keep on using. There we go. There we are.
Hey.
Got it. Hey. So, and also also before we get back onto the FA Cup stuff, another absolutely, certainly an interesting managerial appointment. Everton have announced the reappointment of the
The
man
return.
himself, David Moyes.
Can't wait to see him battle West Ham 5-0. I'll see you later.
That'll probably bloody happen. Knowing us, we'll probably do that and then go and clap the West Ham fans. Well, he's a lovely guy, though. But yeah, this is first of all, I thought that it was going to happen eventually, but the Sean Dyche sacking was a bit unfair, if you ask me, really, because you have them in a position of safety, and then they just go and just give him the boot. I mean, probably wasn't happy about that. He's probably thinking to himself, "How am I going to buy my Carlsbergs now?" But
I'm gonna go down to Spoons real quick. Get myself my dinner.
yeah,
Well, come to Millwall, mate. We're all welcome here.
but yeah, I think that Moyes was always a good fit for Everton, if you ask me.
That's because he's managed there already, mate.
Yes, of course. So he's going back to somewhere where he's got fans he's got people that like him.
Yeah. But unless they're a big club, I don't understand why people go back unless they've got a really good reputation or they're a big club, because you're either going to ruin that reputation or you're just going back to square one of your own managerial career. And going back to square one is not always a correct option in my book.
No, it's not. That's like it's like repeating something over and over and over again.
Ask me on my Football Manager saves.
Or the entire stalemate that the First World War was. Really. So I know that people are obviously going to talk about Plymouth beating Brentford. That's like the big upsets, but this one needs to be talked about. Doncaster Rovers go to the MKM and beat Hull City. Probably, honestly, I think they should have done it they could have done it in regular time, really. But they did leave it to penalties. But honestly, I thought that Doncaster were going to win this. I did.
Well, yeah, Hull have been pretty poor.
They went there in the League Cup last season and they got a win, and they've done the same in the FA Cup this season, and they've done the same again. Yeah,
it's like a Doncaster tradition, is it?
Yeah, this Doncaster have a really good record against Hull, honestly.
Yeah.
And and the season just goes from bad to worse for the Tigers. They've just been mauled by the Rovers.
Yeah.
It's not good. It's not good.
But once we highlight that, I'm going to get, instead of big upsets or big games, we're going to get a big scores. Starting with, I'm going to start with the small one. Well, it's technically not that small. Chelsea 5, Morecambe 0.
Ooh. Starting. Yeah.
Chelsea pretty much assaulting Morecambe and taking them completely out the park at Stamford Bridge and winning 5-0.
Yep. Indeed. That's straight out of one of your shorts, mate.
Hmm?
Yeah, it was a decent start from Morecambe. Of course, saved a penalty, and against Christopher Nkunku, who I don't think has missed a penalty this season.
Not always the easiest man to take the penalty against us all, especially when you're a Morecambe goalkeeper.
Yeah, exactly. Considering how many goals he's probably already conceded this season, you can be happy with how he did, even though but after that it all crumbled. So, What's the next scoreline, sir?
The next big scoreline. My granddad won't be happy with this, but one of my friends will. Leicester City 6, Queen's Park Rangers 2. Cifuentes has a nightmare back at King Power, and Leicester destroy Queen's Park Rangers. Not what I expected from QPR, as I know they're a good side, and how they having their second half syndrome where they seem to lock in.
Yeah. But good at the second half last season.
But out of nowhere, we've just seen Leicester destroy QPR. Is this a bounce of momentum for Leicester for the Premier League, or is this going to also affect QPR in the Championship as well?
It could be very well a mix of both, really. Because like with that sort of momentum, when you go and get a good win against anyone, then you're thinking to yourself, like, we can kick on now. Let's keep going. Let's build on this. But yeah, we'll see how it all unfolds. And for QPR, of course, conceding 6 is not going to be good for anyone's morale, really. So the next one, which may I announce? And this is a bigger picture. This is a bigger picture thing that needs to be raised. All right, actually 2 of them. I'm going to name the first one. I'm going to name them both in quite quick succession. All right. Southampton 3, Swansea City 0, and AFC Bournemouth 5, West Bromwich Albion 1.
Oh, I forgot one of my big scoreline highlights. My bad.
Nah, it's okay. It's all right. But yeah, you know what? The gap between the Prem and the Championship is just way too big. Seriously, Southampton aren't even a good Prem team. They're really not. They're really not.
I thought Sheffield United was bad until I saw Southampton.
They're able to get quite a comfortable win against any Championship team. Because, they did it against Stoke. They've done it against Swansea.
Unless I call Bill Wall.
Yeah, real funny. Well, they might drop points against Norwich as well. I saw that. Josh Sargent just back from injury. New Year's Day. Limbs. Yeah. But, yeah, and Bournemouth beating West Brom 5-1. Seriously, the gap's just way too large. Honestly, Bournemouth still have a lot of work to do. Of course, I'd say they're top end. They're very great.
I'm not sure if it's a gap, but I get the idea of Southampton and Swansea because that's different. But with West Brom, obviously they've just lost Corbian, and we know how good West Brom were. So I'm not sure if we're still seeing the Corbian relation. But yeah. I saw Corbian signed someone like really good for Valencia.
He would have given Areola one for his money. Areola.
Yeah, Max Aaron's on loan to see Corbian.
Oh yes, that'll be interesting. I wonder if we benefit at all from that. I hope we do.
I thought you were about to say if we go to Valencia. I'm about to say I'm not just going all the way so you can watch Max Aaron's, mate. I know you've had quite the history.
Do you want to do that? How about you and me? You and me and a friend of mine who's sort of like a Max Aaron's fangirl. Do you want to just like all 3 of us?
Fangirl?
Yes.
Okay, just wanted to make that clear in case we're getting that wrong.
But yeah, I fancy that. Let's fly to Valencia. I probably won't be that.
I'm not flying to Valencia anytime soon.
It'll be affordable on Ryanair.
I'll be having to sing the Cucurella song, and I'm not doing that.
Cucurella.
No, but let's quickly get off the topic with my final big scoreline.
No, I think it's annoying as well.
The big one.
Go on. I know
the big scoreline. Manchester City. No, Salford.
Oh, for God's
Salford
sake.
City. Salford City 0. Man City 8. 8-0.
Against Salford City, Gary Neville. Oh, what are you doing? Oh, what is this? What are we doing? Yeah, okay, that's enough of that.
He could talk about his time at Valencia and all. It's like how he did it when he managed them.
Oh, God.
The way Salford played.
That's the less said about that, the better.
The less said for Salford, the better as well.
Yeah, that's a disaster. And also, Jack Grealish has scored a goal.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Jack Grealish is scoring, you know something's wrong.
Yeah. But yeah, this is but honestly, it was Salford and Man City and Salford fans that day were just embarrassing. Man City fans doing the Poznan after being 7-0 up against
The
Chelsea.
sort of Man City fans,
Yeah,
you
sort
mean?
of Man City fans. And the Salford fans, aka just the Man United fans and the Man City fans who couldn't get tickets, letting off a pyro after being 7-0 down. What are you doing? What's the point? What are you protesting against this? Are you like saying Neville out or something? Or like, why? I mean, he's got.
I mean, fair point. It is Gary Neville after all.
Yeah. But yeah, let's talk about the one that I know you'll absolutely want to talk about, and also we've got a goal of the week. We've got a goal of the week.
I'm going to answer this.
Millwall 3, Dagenham and Redbridge 0. Far away.
The goal of the week. The best diving header you will ever see. Van Persie, who? You've got Mihailo Ivanovic against Dagenham and Redbridge. The best header you will ever see in FA Cup and football history there.
That is literally, that's my brother scoring against me in our backyard. Literally just getting on the ground
and then he hits the little Mitro. He's better than Mitrovic, what do I tell you? I mean, I have no doubt for him. It's definitely, we don't talk about the last 2 weeks at all.
To be fair,
Alex Neil, finally.
I don't think I've ever even seen Messi do that.
Alex Neil, though, finally gets his first win under the Millwall limelight.
Are you still Alex Neil out?
Yes, because it was Dagenham and Redbridge. If he could do that in the league, if he could score 3 goals in a league game, I'll be pretty happy. Yeah. But the man I want to talk about, other than Ivanovic, he's an ex-Romain Essie when Essie leaves for Palace for 14 million, which is the most this window. Bangura Williams is going to be the future of Millwall. I mean, this is definitely biased because he just scored a decent goal against the National League side, but, you know, he looked good.
Yeah, how old is he?
20.
20.
I actually shocked him to 20.
Alright, fair enough. He looks like 17.
Right, I've got a good question for you. How old do you think Ivanovic is?
How old do I think Ivanovic is? 30.
Right, if we're spending 2.5 million our record transfer on a 30-year-old, we're going somewhere wrong.
2.5 million is your record transfer?
Yes,
oh
yes,
God,
it is.
No.
Right, we're broke. We're broke. No, Ivanovic is 19. He's younger than Bangura Williams.
What? Wait, no, wait a minute. That can't be right. What?
It is.
Mihailo Ivanovic, what? No way this guy is younger than Macaulay Langstaff. What?
He's younger than Essie? No, he's just 1 year older than Essie, I think, actually.
What? It says here he's 72.
Well, I don't know what Mihailo Ivanovic you're looking at.
I think I've got the wrong one.
Mihailo Ivanovic.
Mihailo Ivanovic. Right, okay, this,
Don't ask me how to spell Mihailo.
Sure that, there are 2 different Ivanovics, I think.
Why don't you just go on Millwall's, like...
He's 20. What, he's 20? Oh,
okay.
He's the same age.
Sorry, I got it wrong. He was 19 when he signed, I think.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So, a bit of transfer news, which I'd like to,
Don't do it. I know what transfer you're going to be on about. This is going to be the high... No, wait a minute. The highest transfer fee paid for a player this window is 14 million. So somehow Millwall were joint for transfer fee received.
Yeah. Well, Norwich City could be potentially
Ricky J. Jones
of bringing in MANAGERIAL.
Okay, that's not who I said. I thought you was on about Ricky J. Jones, as I heard that earlier
Yeah,
today.
okay, that's... I wouldn't mind that as well. I wouldn't mind him.
He's a good player. He's a very
mind...
good.
Why don't we just get them both? Let's just get both of them. Both of them through the door. Championship football.
I was about to ask where's the money in that, but then I forget I'm supporting Millwall.
This man.
All right, I'm sorry. I just need to say it because I know there's one game completely off topic, and there's a second one I'm about to talk about. This is completely off topic. We never do Bundesliga, but I just want to say a massive well done to Holstein Kiel, who have arguably been one of the worst Bundesliga teams I've seen this season. Beat Dortmund 4-2.
Oh my god, that is quite a Dortmund thing to do, honestly.
But before I get any further, it seems Liverpool can't beat Nottingham Forest as Chris Wood just scored for my fantasy points.
Hey, so let's speaking of that, let's take a current check of the
Future of the next podcast episode.
Premier League at the moment. Ooh, right. The first one, Chelsea are currently 1-0 up against
Palmer scored, please.
Cole Palmer. And
yes, more fantasy points. Forget somewhere here.
And West Ham are currently 2-0 up against Fulham. Carlos Soler and Thomas Soucek have us lead. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. And currently,
got the fresh haircut.
Brentford are drawing to Man City as well.
What, 0-0?
It's 0-0, yep. Those aren't all the fixtures, are they? And, yep, and as you said, Nottingham Forest are 1-0 up against Liverpool.
With some fantasy points.
So.
Too bad, I captained Salah, I think.
Yeah. Can't believe so many of us thought that their Forest's 1-0 win at Anfield was a fluke, and now look at them now.
1-0 off at their own ground.
Yeah. Okay, so thanks very much for tuning in to this episode. Hope you very much have enjoyed, and please do consider liking, and please make sure to subscribe to and like to both of our channels to help us grow, and follow my TikTok and follow Daniel's Instagram and TikTok as well, even though you never post on there, do you?
I was planning to, but you know, TikTok's going down in America these days. I'm not sure how many people are going to watch that.
Yeah, that's true. So, thanks very much for tuning in. I'll see you all again next week. Good night.